everyone, Lauren from A Girl and Her Wool here. So I'm going to be doing a behind the scenes vlog this week. On Saturday I had my very first ready to ship update, and so I thought it would be a fun week to take you guys behind the scenes of me. I mean, one, I have to get those orders out, two, kind of talking through how it went, as well as how I'm gonna do kind of this upcoming restock update, thinking through ahead and just planning my week, how this is kind of changing my business and how I get through my work week. So I plan to kind of do this here and there throughout the week. We'll kind of pop in and out. And so yeah, let's kind of get started. I just filmed the intro to the July Yarn Club reveal, so if you haven't checked that out, you can do so. I think by the time this airs, where are we in our lives? The 13th. This might be airing on, I'm not sure when this is airing. I think this is airing on the day that yarn clubs renew, so you have like one last chance to sign up for the August clubs. Otherwise, they'll start with the September clubs if you want to be a part of my mystery yarn clubs. And yeah, so it's Monday morning. I have to log into work. It's around 8 a.m. so I will check in later. This morning I didn't really do much. I kind of got through, you know, I have seen this before, my behind the scenes. I printed out all the invoices from this weekend, figured out my dye list. So today after work I'm gonna be dyeing all dye to order colorways. Again, you guys heard this a lot in that shop update vlog, and if you didn't, go back and watch it. But this is kind of a transition month, so I'm still doing kind of dye to order for a lot of different colorways, and of course everyone ordered different colors this weekend, so these are the types of things that I'm trying to avoid kind of moving forward with the changes. But I'm hoping to kind of power through and get through those orders today. When I was planning out my dye week, I kind of set aside today for orders. So we're gonna do that, and then I'm also gonna be dyeing up minis for the Ice Cream Club colorway. So I probably won't show what those look like, but I actually have to get the first round of the club sent out this week, and I like to just do minis first. I kind of got busy getting into the ready to ship update, so I didn't do it last week, unfortunately. So today I'm gonna kind of just do some minis, figure out what I want to do with this club, what it's all gonna look like, and then we'll dye the club up tomorrow probably. So anyway, that is that. Yeah, that is that. I'm gonna head over to work, and then I will check in later when we start back up with yarn. now Tuesday morning. It's right around 8 o'clock. Let's see. Yeah, 8:07. So I'm going to be logging into work now. I have my overnight oats here. And I just wanted to catch you up. So last night we had a pretty big thunderstorm roll through. And so I didn't dye yarn because I like to keep the window open, and while I've dyed with it raining, thunderstorms seemed a little silly to do, especially like running the risk of losing power and everything. So I didn't dye yarn last night, which is kind of a bummer because it just, you know, I feel like I'm a scheduler and planner and I can adapt, so it's totally fine, but it's always, you know, nice when things go according to plan. But again, how often does that happen? So got up early this morning, and actually last night I ended up packaging up orders instead. So all of the ready to ship orders from this weekend are now sitting by the door waiting to get picked up. And then this morning I ended up dyeing all of the dye to order skeins that came in over the weekend as well, so that feels good. I also did some test minis for the ice cream club, so I'm hoping to get that first batch done tonight. So again, I dyed up this morning what I wanted to dye last night, and then I'm hoping to do another dye session after work today and then kind of be back to the nighttime thing. So we'll kind of see how that goes. So yeah, got the orders ready to go. Again, everything's dyed up, so then the rest of this week I can focus on August shop update as well as the restock for this weekend, which is good. So it's definitely different already. I know I kind of said I was going to make this video about kind of this whole change to ready to ship and how that's changing what I'm doing for the week. Again, a situation like this where you know, I really want to get these dye to order listings out, and we get this thunderstorm, so I'm pushed back and now I have to crunch everything in. This is like exactly one of the things I'm hoping to avoid moving forward, because when I plan out my dye schedule for like ready to ship, I build in extra days. So like if things get pushed back a day, it's not a big deal. So again, because things happen, I could get sick for a day or two, and I just want to have more flexibility, I guess. So anyway, what else is weird is that I got a whole bunch of orders on Saturday with the shop update, but I think since I've gotten like one, and I'm used to more like regular orders, not like a lot at once, and I think that's a change that I'll have to adapt to as well, meaning that I probably will have more like dedicated packaging days versus packaging every day, which will be an interesting change to figure out if that's kind of like how this goes, is I end up getting a lot of orders on these shop update days versus kind of throughout the week. So anyway, that's it. I'm gonna get logged into work now, eat my breakfast, and so I will catch up with you guys later. Again, I'll probably be dyeing more. I have like my dye line. I'll be dyeing more after work. We'll see how those ice cream minis turn out. I might look up a few more inspiration photos and kind of see if I like what I did or not. But yeah, that's it. So talk to you guys soon. Good morning. It is Wednesday morning, right? Yes, it's Wednesday morning. It's about 7:40. I've done kind of my normal morning routine here so far. Last night I did dye a whole bunch of yarn, which you saw me put up to soak. So in a little bit I'll hang it up to dry so that it's dried for later. Those are the ice cream clubs, so some of that does need to get shipped out tomorrow, and so I'll kind of make sure everything's good tonight when it's dry. I'm going to show you guys that process later today. I think that will be fun to just show how I go through and make sure everything looks okay. The rest is all starting to prep for the August shop update, so you guys will see one of the colors going in for that. So otherwise this morning I did get a few orders in yesterday. So I went through and kind of got dye list prep for that. I think I'm going to dye them tomorrow, but I might start on them tonight. Tonight I'm going to be dyeing up doing the Dye With Me filming for Friday's Dye With Me. So if you haven't checked last Friday's Dye With Me, go back and check it out. I am planning to use a Dye With Me as testing for the rest of my new colors for August. So I'm planning to do lots of fall colors, so I'm just going to be playing around with that for the Dye With Me. And I actually think that's what I'm going to be doing in the next one too. I think it's going to be a two-parter. Again, this will just kind of help me in the transition over to ready to ship. So yeah, last night I did the ice cream club and I did the first color, which I'll show you guys later. And then yeah, otherwise this morning I got a couple of orders done. I wanted to get 2 more. That would have wrapped up the orders from the weekend. But 2 of the colors, 1 from each order, just need a little bit extra. So I always like to get orders out as soon as possible, but I also like to make sure that they are good to go. I won't send something out that's not perfect. So I just need to perfect 2 skeins. So those will go out tomorrow, which is fine. That's 4 business days. They were both ordered on Saturdays, so 4 business days is plenty fine for dye to order. So yeah, tonight I'm going to be doing the Dye With Me, and then my plan was tomorrow do the dyeing for the restock for this weekend. So if you haven't checked out, I did restock the ready to ship listings over the weekend. So check that out if you haven't already. I'm hoping to restock and put more back in, but I'm not sure. Last time things sold out pretty quickly, so I'm not sure what will happen again this weekend. But definitely go check out the ready to ship section. There's still plenty in there. At least where I'm at now, things sold, but there's still plenty of ready to ship items. So go check out the new section. Order ship next day when they're ready to ship. So lots of goodies in there for you. And that's it. So at this point, again, it's like 7:40, now it's 7:43. So I'm going to get the yarn prepped for later. Dye With Me yarn prep is really easy because it's all 100-gram skeins. So I just have to put the ties on them and then they're good to go. So I should be able to get that done and then hop into my work day. So I will, I'm not going to film me dyeing later because I will be filming me dyeing later. So at this point I'll probably, I'm going to check in later and show you guys what I do with checking skeins and all of that. Hey everyone, it's Wednesday afternoon. By afternoon I mean evening. It's 7 o'clock. And I just finished dyeing for the day, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit because it's a little bit frustrating, and I know that it's easy to show a lot of successes and good times and pretty yarn, and I want to show kind of some of the frustrations too. I've gotten a comment, I got a comment recently after the over dyeing talking about like, oh yeah, even Lauren messes up or whatever. And I have in the past too on Dye With Me's of people saying like they're scared to try things because they don't know how it's gonna go. And I just want to put it out there that I mess up my dyeing all the time. But anyway, so a couple of things happened today. One is I didn't have a very long dye list to do tonight. I was going to do Dye With Me filming for Friday as well as restocks for Saturday. And I've talked a lot about like how I was really excited about the success of the ready to ship update, and I am, of course. But it's not like I sold that much. I wasn't restocking that much. Yeah, it was a restock update that I wanted to dye for, but I have dye all over me. I didn't want to dye, I wasn't dyeing a ton, so I thought this would take like an hour and a half. So now it's like 2.5 hours later and I barely got anything done. So I did woodland, and speaking of mess ups, a lot of the colors in woodland I mix in bottles, and the very last bit that I had to do, I had to remix a bottle up because I was out of the dye. And sometimes if you don't mix it up enough, what happens when you spray it out is you get a clump of dye that pops out. And again, because you mix dyes, I didn't want the color of one of the dyes, I wanted the blended version. And so I don't know if it messed up the batch. I think it probably messed up one skein. I'm hoping it was just one skein, but we'll see. And so I just wanted to speak to that frustration because that definitely happens. And what's hard for me is I don't have like this huge following. So me saying, oh, I had a whoopsie, it's not like that skein is necessarily gonna sell. So we'll see what happens. I think it'll be pretty, but I don't think I'll be able to sell it as woodland. And so we're gonna kind of see what happens. So there'll probably be a one of a kind, maybe more skeins in this restock. And that just like is frustrating. And I think what it is too is I was already kind of frustrated because I looked down and realized it was 6:30 and I thought I was going to be done with this by 6, and all I did was woodland, one dye with me batch. I was going to do 3, so I did one colorway for the dye with me, and I had barely started Monarch, so that's what I spent the last half hour doing, was finishing the Monarch restock. And I did not do Marigold, and I did not do the other 2 colors. And then I realized right as I was wrapping up that I also did not do the 2 skeins that I needed to fix that need to go out tomorrow. So again, it's 7 o'clock. Now I have to make dinner, and yeah, so on top of like me just realizing how long it took and how I didn't get everything done, I then messed up the last thing. And so it was just like an are you kidding me moment. And so I wanted to share that as well. Again, this is all for fun, and so for me it's like if I'm not having fun, I'm done. So I just kind of finished what I was doing and cut it off. And so I think after dinner I'm just gonna do those 2 skeins that I need to finish and then pick it up tomorrow. I was even considering, do I want to wake up tomorrow and kind of do another double dye day like I did the other day. And you know what, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to just get done what I can tomorrow, and if that means less dyeing in this dye with me, then it means less dyeing in this dye with me, and there'll be more for the next one. Or it means that people's orders will go out one day later, which is not that big of a deal. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. That's kind of real life behind the scenes. I don't mean to be Debbie Downer or complaining a lot, but I do want to share that there are frustrations and things that go wrong as well, in addition to kind of the fun and the exciting things that happen too. So anyway, I'm gonna probably wrap it up for the evening. Today's Wednesday, so I like to do Weave It In Wednesday, where I take out whips and weave in ends. So I'll probably bring that upstairs with me when I do, again, fixing those 2 skeins. It's not much that I have to do to fix them, so I think that would only take like honestly like 20 minutes. So I'll probably just do that after dinner and call it a night. And again, pick it back up tomorrow. So anyway, I will talk to you tomorrow. everyone, good morning. It's now Thursday morning and I have my Mountain Springs Lake yarn here dyed up, and I wanted to kind of talk about what I do once yarn is dyed, and I thought it would be fun to show it with this gradient and then with the Mountain Springs Lake set. So as you can see here, this is a gradient set. It is a gradient from a dark blue into lights and then into the browns and dark brown. But you can see, you know, it's kind of speckly and you do get blues all throughout the whole thing, as well as you kind of get some browns over here. So what I do is I lay them out like this. Hold on. So what I do is I lay them out like this and just make sure I like them, and I honestly do this for every set. So I have others out over here, and I'll do the same thing and make sure it's good. So sometimes I end up with a 10 skein gradient that's good, and then others in the set are not, and I kind of like pick and choose what needs to get fixed. Probably spend more time perfecting gradients than people would notice, but that's fine. So overall, I think that this came out pretty well. Even with formulas, because it's such a small amount of dye, you just never know what's going to happen. These two blues are fairly close to each other, and then it kind of makes, if I take this out, I think these three look okay. This one might be a little bit lighter, you know, it might be too much of a step here. These are the types of things I think about. These are kind of too similar. So what I end up doing is deciding, well, do I like these two and I just need to change the middle to be more in between? Does this need to get a little bit darker? Does this need to get a little bit darker? And so I kind of keep going and keep that in mind. So the next two that I kind of look at are these two, and so I say, you know, are these okay or do they look good? And I do like these. I do like this one next to that one, so kind of going back, I'll probably nix this one and just re-dye up the second color. But moving along here, I actually think that these two need to get switched. So this one is, sorry, hold on. So this one is actually more blue than that one. And so I actually think that those two need to get switched. The reason why I didn't have it lined up that way is that I also dyed up a 5 skein version of this, which I can put on the camera here too. And so I could tell which ones needed to be which based on how many skeins there were in the set. And so that's kind of how I knew it needed to be in that order. So you can see the 5 skein a little bit there, which means that in the 5, I probably have them opposite, but again, in the 5 skein version, it probably doesn't matter because they're not both there. But anyway, I just wanted to point that out. Sometimes that happens when I'm dyeing a little bit more blue, probably ended up on one. So again, looking kind of at just the 5 blue skeins, there's just, these two are too similar and too much of a jump here. And so I think if I take that one out and replace it with another one, this will be perfect. Okay, so going into the brown side, so we start with the lightest brown and then into the next one. Again, these might be too similar. This one does have the darker browns on it, so as it's being knit, it's probably fine, but I'm gonna think about that one. Going into that one, I think that's good. These two are pretty much the same, and then this one's actually really dark. That one's way too dark for how I normally dye Mountain Springs Lake. I would normally end it with something similar to this, maybe a little bit darker. So what I want to do here, I think, is to, this is, yeah, so these are the browns. So I think I'm probably pretty good with this one because I think it does have more blue in here, and these two are probably good. And then I think I just want to it sounds bad, I don't normally always have to redo so many, but I think that one might be okay, and even this one is probably good. I do less of a gradient on the brown side for this gradient, and I just need to decide, I mean, it just is too dark, so I'll probably just redo the last one. So I think all I need to redo is the last one and the second one in here, or yeah, the second one in here, this one's the darkest. And then that will be that. Again, gradients are hard because you kind of get them here and there, but what's actually nice about this is for my August shop update. So I still have all of July to fix this. I don't need to like go do it right now. I don't need to do it tonight. I can kind of fit it in next week, which will be nice. If this were for an order, I'd feel like very rushed to fix it and get it out. So anyway, that's that one. And I'm just gonna pause here for a second so I can put these back organized. And then again, this is a 5 skein version, which is easier because there's bigger leaves and everything, so I'm actually good with this one. So that's the 5 skein set as well. Okay, and now I have the main colorway. So again, this is going to be one of the August colors of the month. So this is Mountain Springs Lake. Actually, let me just grab a couple. So this is, yeah, that's BFL. That's DK, and that's sock. I mean, I'll put a couple of these socks out and kind of talk through again what I look at here. But first of all, you know, this is a brand new colorway, a brand new formula. I did dye this for the favorite packs, but I didn't even like consider that formula. I really just kind of started fresh. And again, this is supposed to encompass the feeling of that gradient. There's a lot more blues, a lot less browns, which is totally fine. And I really love how this came out. I'm really happy with this colorway. But if you look at this skein on the end here, it probably was tucked underneath others, and it has a little bit more white than some of the others. So I'm gonna go back and add more to this one. So that's something I look at every single skein that I dye up. This is it on BFL, so again, looks good. This is it on DK, so of course that one also will look good. So I'll just go through the other skeins that I dyed as well and figure that out. These are 250-gram skeins, so again, it's nice to see how it translates into the smaller skeins. And again, ignoring kind of that one that's really bright, these came out looking the same, so that's good. The other thing is that I also dyed up a 25-gram skein. And I'm going to be casting this on. This will be the sample sock. So again, like to see that it's similar to the main color, which it is. And then I also dyed up a tonal to go with this. So some of these sock skeins are for sock sets. This is a really neutral color. It's a really light brown with these pops of color in there that exist in the colorway itself. So you kind of see some of that sticking out. So it's really kind of thinking about, it's really like the lightest brown color minus the blue, which I think is nice. So I think that came out good. I'm happy with that contrast color. And so yeah, I have a 10-gram mini here. So I will take this is a 25-gram skein and a 10-gram skein, and for me that's enough to make one sock for my sample. So that's what I do when yarn is dry. I make sure it all looks good. Obviously when it's dyed to order, I then have to like decide what to do in terms of fixing it, but with this being ready to ship, I can just kind of go put it into my inventory, which is nice, other than that one skein of course. So yeah, and I did already kind of look through the other, so it's really just the one skein that needs to get fixed. And then of course the darkest brown and the second color for the gradient set. So anyway, that is a little behind the scenes of how I look at my finished yarn. All right, we are back at the workstation, so I'm going to get going here. It was a productive morning. I actually worked out this morning, which is really nice. It's a good start to the day. So I have my breakfast here, my water here, and I'm going to start working. So anyway, to recap last night, I was frustrated as you saw, and went to sit down and have dinner last night, and I couldn't stop thinking about getting the yarn done. So I'm generally not a procrastinator. I don't like having like things on my list to do that haven't gotten done. And so obviously things happen, so I'm not like perfect about getting everything done, but I just felt like last night, like I just wanted to get that stuff done. And I wasn't gonna be relaxed, so what's the point in not doing it? So I ended up going back upstairs and finishing the dyeing. So if you haven't watched Friday's dye with me, definitely go back and do it because I stayed up late to get that yarn dyed. And also make sure you give it a thumbs up. Show some appreciation for that vlog. So yeah, so got that done, got done the restock yarn that I had to do, as well as the yarn for the orders. So those orders are now outside and waiting to get picked up, which is good. So for today, what I have to do after work today is dye the dye to orders that came in earlier this week. So I'm going to dye those up tonight. And I also have to film the before and after portion of the dye with me. So I still have to do that. And then, yeah, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I'm off from work tomorrow. So it's Thursday morning now. I'm off from work tomorrow. So my mom's driving up here, and then we're going to drive up and visit my grandpa. And so the plan is, even if I don't get to filming that vlog tonight, I can do it in the morning tomorrow and then edit it before we leave. And yeah, that's it. So wrapping up the week, again, it would be nice to get those orders out before I go away, but it's just not possible, so they'll go out Monday. And yeah, I have the restock update. So if you haven't checked out the shop, certainly do so at agirlandherwool.com. The other thing is, you might be wondering what these giant boxes are behind me here. This is yarn. This is my biggest yarn order to date, which is exciting. It's nice to grow and need more yarn and all of that stuff, but it's also scary to, you know, spend all that money on yarn. So I'm trying to stock up for the 2 festivals that I will be vending at in September, and I figured now is as good a time as any to start getting the yarn for it. I seriously have no idea how much yarn I should be bringing. None at all, so I bought a lot. So yeah, we'll see. Definitely keep supporting the shop. Otherwise, my mom and I are set with yarn for life and beyond. So, I'm gonna get started again on my work day, and I will check in with you all, tomorrow before we head out to go. So I will talk to you then. Hey everyone, so it is Saturday morning and I just wanted to say farewell. My mom should be here within half an hour, my guess, and we're gonna head up to visit my grandpa. I have a couple of things I still need to do this morning that I'm just gonna finish up before we go. So I have to just package up some orders and get them out. And I mean, that's really it. I have to pack knitting, so I'm gonna bring the sock that I don't know if I showed you guys, but I started a sock last night with Mountain Springs Lake, and it's contrast color, so I will get that finished this weekend. And then I'm going to bring my crochet wrap. So I'm actually sitting here. I need to wind up a few of these minis to bring with me. Because unfortunately my grandfather does not have a ball winder. I didn't find that funny. So anyway, that is it. Thanks so much for watching this behind the scenes. Remember, if you haven't already, check out agirlandherwool.com for the ready to ship items. Feel free to use agirlandherwool10 for 10% off your order anytime. That's an ongoing thank you discount code for my followers here. If you haven't already given this video a thumbs up, that sincerely helps. Or, you know, consider subscribing. Comment below with things you want to see in the shop. What do you want to see in these behind the scene vlogs? You know, of course, because I work all day long, I can't show. There's more I would love to show you guys and do with you guys, but because I work all day, it kind of hinders some of that. So Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget that I also posted that die with me on Friday, where I'm looking for feedback from you guys on the fall color palette. So go check out that vlog if you haven't already. And I will be back next week with another video, and I have no idea what it is right now. So I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.